Well, I bet you thought you were done with me before Christmas. I've got news, and I'm putting the Santa hat back on. And removing this wrapper that's stuck to it. Okay, so the good news is we installed Crashlytics into our application. The bad news is I'm getting a crash on Android that we need to resolve. In fact, I think this is an issue that has been prevalent for a little while now. So my apologies to people who were testing on the Android simulator. I should have tested on it more. I was trying to push through this and make sure that we were making good progress, and I wasn't spending as much time testing on every app device combination that I should have. So my apologies. We're going to fix it today. Okay, so I've got an Android emulator pulled up. This is what the app looks like, which is terrible. On top of that, we can see that we have a crash in our debug console, and it was added to Crashlytics, which is great. That part's working as expected. The issue is resource app icon cannot be found. Make sure it's been added as a drawable resource to your Android head. So let's come over here. Let's crack open our Android folder. App, source, main, res. There's our drawables. IC launcher. I'm going to take app icon and search for app icon. So, okay, Windows. Notifications manager. Oh, yeah, I remember this now. This app icon needs to be added as a drawable resource to the Android head project. Okay. So if we look at our assets, or I'm sorry, not our assets, our Android resources, and we look at, so we have our IC launcher. I'm going to grab our, let's do this one. I'll take our extra high density pixel launcher. We'll post this under drawable, so we'll paste it there. And then this is an IC launcher PNG. So if we come back to notifications manager as a drawable resource. Okay, let's try IC launcher. And then we'll restart our application and see how that goes. Resource IC launcher could not be found. Make sure you add it. Okay, I'm curious if it needs the PNG. So we will try, to add the PNG. So IC launcher. Let's actually crack into this and see this .default icon. Okay, that's really not as helpful as I was hoping for. Initialize settings. We call initialize. It gets those settings, converts them to a map. Evaluate. Okay, background notification callback. So we have our arguments. Dispatch handle, callback handle. Okay, so probably not related to that one. Initialization settings, maybe? Okay, Android. Okay, so that's public, so something is using that. Okay, this is our file, this notification manager. So we know it's not that one, and we see initialization settings. Android argument must be set when targeting Android. Okay. Initialize the Android specific ones. To map, evaluate. Okay. Let's pull up the documentation. Sorry if you hear my dog chewing on a chew toy. Flutter local notifications. I believe we saw this in the documentation for this as well, right? Many episodes ago when we looked at Android setup. Okay, desugaring. That's great. That's great. Okay, if you've chosen to use Bitmap Launcher as the notification icon against the official Android guidance, be sure to include this in the keep.xml file. Oh, that's right. Okay. Let's try that. So if we do at mipmap/IC launcher, and that's what we have for our app icon here as well. Okay, we'll give that a shot and we'll see how that goes. I know that's against the official Android guidance. If you want, you could create a custom icon. Okay, perfect, that fixes it. If you want, you could create a custom icon for notifications. It's probably not a bad idea to keep them separate. For the sake of what we're doing, I'm fine with keeping them the same. So we have our IC launcher right here, and we can run with that. This will be the icon that shows up in the notification. So I don't think I have any notifications. Yeah, so like right here, instead of this Gmail logo, you would see like the okay, I don't need this right now. But instead of that Gmail logo, you would see like the IC launcher file or whatever file you pass into this. And remember, if you do set this up, this is an Android resource path, which is what it was taking me a moment to realize. So if you set up like a drawable, you can do @drawable, or you can do @mipmap, depending on how you handle all of this. So that fixes that issue. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't, like I said, I didn't test on Android basically after we did the local notifications, and then I pushed it to my Android device and I installed it. But I actually never opened it on my Pixel 3 because I was running into an issue with my old phone's touchscreen being a little unresponsive. So, lesson learned, maybe I need to get a new Android test device so I don't have an excuse next time. I think that's it. Thanks for sticking with me again. Make sure that whenever you make this change, you update your pub spec, and then you do a Flutter build app bundle to get a new Android version. It's generally a good practice to build a new iOS version too and push that out just to kind of keep them in sync. Technically, there are no real iOS changes, so it's up to you. You're not going to see anything different if you push out a new iOS version. I like to keep them in sync. It's a day before Christmas now, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for sticking with me through this session and our troubleshooting in this video. Toodles.